everyone, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the Nuphy Air60 wireless keyboard. Now this one isn't necessarily a gaming keyboard, but it does include some pretty decent features, and honestly speaking I used it to game a lot and I didn't have a single issue, and I'll tell you exactly what I did too so you guys know how to properly set it up if you do plan on gaming with this thing. But this is probably one of the best low profile keyboards I have ever used. To start off, it's got an aluminum top plate with these two RGB LEDs on the sides, and then you do have per key RGB lighting as well. It is a low profile keyboard that uses Gateron low profile switches, and they do have like these almost cherry-like switch stems as well, so you can easily swap out the keycaps, and they do have a couple of different keycap options. They have the light version of the Coast keycaps, and they also have a dark version of the Coast keycaps. They do have USB Type-C over to the left side of the board, and you can also use the keyboard wireless or wired with a USB Type-C cable. You can even swap this keyboard from having the shortcuts for Windows or Mac on the fly with these switches on the back. And just because the keyboard is low profile doesn't mean that it's not adjustable, because they do give you these extra little feet to give yourself a little bit more height with this keyboard, and just makes it a lot more comfortable to use in my opinion. It does work well without the extra feet, but honestly speaking it was a lot more comfortable for me to use with those little feet that they included. Now this keyboard is a 60% layout, but you do have the arrow keys as well. But the only thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is the fact that this is not a 65% layout, because that is my preferred layout, where I have the delete key at the top right and a few extra keys below it, and I have a larger right shift key. The smaller right shift, honestly speaking, I just don't use it. I do use the delete key, but the smaller right shift is just not for me. The entire rest of the keyboard is fine though. I kind of just wish they would just come out with a 65% version as well. The point of this keyboard was also to fit directly on top of a MacBook keyboard, and this one actually does fit directly on top of a MacBook keyboard, so it does work well as a replacement if you want something with a little bit more height and a little bit more tactility. Speaking of tactility, this thing does come with a few different switch choices as well. So you have red Gateron linears, brown Gateron tactiles that we do have in the board today, as well as clicky Gateron blues. I will give you guys a quick sound test of the keyboard before and after I modified it. In terms of the mods that we did, all we did was we rubbed some oil on top and bottom of the switch stems of the Gateron browns, and it did make them a decent amount smoother as well. It didn't necessarily make them deeper, but it did make using the keyboard a lot smoother in terms of the experience of just using the keys, because I thought that they were a little bit scratchy, and after I added that little bit of Crytox 105, all that scratch honestly speaking went away. They're incredibly smooth now. I did attempt to reload the stabilizers, even though the stabilizers actually, they did a really good job from the factory. It was kind of pointless of me doing that, and I realized that I had wasted like 20 minutes of my own time trying to take apart these stabilizers, relube them, and put them back together. But I also had to wipe off the old grease. That again was kind of pointless. And the last couple of modifications that we did, we tape modded the back of the PCB, and we also did add a little bit of neoprene foam in the bottom of the case to get rid of any resonance or hollowness. And this thing actually sounds pretty deep and thocky for a $109 keyboard. You do get a free folio case for this keyboard that you can prop up to use with an iPad or a cell phone or both. Personally, I don't use my iPad as a laptop replacement, so I don't really see it as very practical for me. I just see it as a nice little bonus if you guys like to use that. For example, if you got the iPad Pro 13-inch or something like that, and you do use your iPad as a laptop replacement, then that would actually be a pretty nice throw-in. But I think it's going to be about 20 bucks if you purchase it after the keyboard goes off of pre-order. Now, those Coast PBT keycaps, those things are honestly really good. They look great, they feel great, they sound great as well, and I'm really glad they have both a light and dark version because I like the look of both of them. And they give you some extra keys in case you want to swap out the modifiers to be Windows shortcuts or Mac shortcuts, and it's really nice that everything is just so effortless with this keyboard. The RGB settings though, I will say, if you want your battery to last a long time, I would just go ahead and turn the main backlighting for the RGB off, because that will be the #1 thing that will kill your battery the fastest. If you're using this thing with the RGB on, you might have like a day total of use, maybe 2 days if you stretch it in like 2, maybe 4 or 5 hour sessions. But I was struggling to get a max of like 10 hours out of this thing using the RGB on full blast in the rainbow mode. Now, I said I use this keyboard for gaming, and the reason why I didn't have any performance issues is because I used that 2.4 gigahertz dongle that is included instead of using the Bluetooth 2.4 or 5.0 technology that is also built in, because you could switch between 4 different devices if you include the use of that 2.4 gigahertz dongle. And if you have this thing plugged into, let's just say, your monitor or a USB hub that is very close to your desk, you won't have any performance issues when it comes to using this thing for gaming and getting the best response time. It does a really good job, and it's very surprising that a wireless keyboard from a new company like this does this well at gaming with no interference or issues at all. But if you want to plug the dongle, let's just say, into the back of your PC or even at the top of your PC, more than like 3 feet away, that's probably not the best idea, and you will more than likely experience some interruptions when it comes to the wireless connection. But as long as it's within a couple of feet directly in front of you or not too far from you, you shouldn't have any issues with gaming with it wireless. Pretty much all I have to say about the Nuphy Air60. I really do hope that they come out with a 65% just a little bit longer, have that dedicated row on the right side with that dedicated delete key and a larger right shift button. I didn't realize how much I use the right shift until I use a keyboard that doesn't have a decently sized right shift. The thing is very good. For $110, this is a really competitive deal. And honestly speaking, would I rather get this or a Fanatic Streak 65 LP? Man, that is a hard decision. The Streak 65 LP looks really good, but it's wired and it's not as low profile, and it's also not hot swap, so it's not that easy to mod. Where this is really easy to mod. It sounds fantastic. If you do a little bit of work to it, it can sound even better. But that's all I have for this video. If you guys enjoy, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. I will have an affiliate link to the pre-order of this keyboard in the description below as well, so if you guys want to check it out, feel free to. And once you get it, send me a picture on Twitter or something. Let me know what you guys think of the keyboard, because I think it is actually really nice. But thank you again for watching this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. I'll see you in the next video.